Marley doesn't think I'm crazy. Hey everybody, welcome back. Season 3, Lost My Ducks. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing okay. I still have a little bit of bronchitis. It won't go away. It's chronic. It's never gonna go away. And that's okay. That's okay. But I am doing a bit better. It's October. It's the second last Monday of October. We're almost at spooky season. While we're in spooky season, we're almost at the spooky day. I love Halloween. My whole family loves Halloween. We celebrate Halloween. We have a little Halloween dinner, have the trick-or-treaters, all the other stuff. It's great. My mom and sister are coming over for dinner on Halloween night. It's going to be great. We're going to carve pumpkins this weekend. Everything is going to be awesome. I have like my spookiness on. I did myself some little ghosty nails. So those are fun. Here's the thumb. Woo. I love Halloween, okay? My whole fam does. But the spooky thing we're going to talk about today is antidepressants. I know, hey? Isn't that such a subject? It's so taboo. It's so hoo-hoo. But a lot of celebrities, not a lot, a couple have been kind of speaking out about being on antidepressants and what it was like. And I figured I would tell my story of what it was like to be on antidepressants because the celebrities that have spoken out are male. And, you know, a lot of medical research and everything is just solely done by males for males. So this is a female perspective of what it's like to be on antidepressants. And here we go, because this is a personal subject, but it's also kind of a loaded conversation because nobody wants to hear what it's like for women because it's the same as it is for men, but no, it's not. Anywho, are we ready to dive into this? Because I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. Psyching myself up for this. So, anyway, when I had all the stuff happen and I have the PTSD, I still have PTSD. I don't know if it ever goes away. It just becomes less and easier to manage. Does that make sense? But it still happens. So I was put on Prozac. I was put on Prozac after day hospital, after like about 2 months after day hospital ended. I was put on Prozac. Prozac is not fun, okay, for me. Now, full thing with this is antidepressants can help a lot. They can help you get through things. They're not a long-term solution, and that's what I was told by medical professionals. Antidepressants are not a long-term solution, but they can help you get through the counseling. They can help you just kind of put your depression and your PTSD and your anxiety, they can just lower that level of it so you can develop the tools to cope with it. Does that make sense? So that's what I was told and how it was explained to me, and how I feel like I had one psychiatrist that just kind of wanted to keep me on antidepressants. Like, it was so strange. So that was the second psychiatrist I saw. He put me on Prozac because the first one I saw, I was only taking the Prazosin for nightmares and I was doing okay. But the second psychiatrist put me on Prozac. I felt like my body would be sitting in this chair and my brain was upstairs. There was like a complete disconnect. And when it was like I was watching myself do everything. I was completely disconnected. There was no whole Josie. It was so strange. It was like Same book, different chapters, okay? And some days it was so bad, it was like different books. Um, and I went on for like 6 months like that, and I kept telling the psychiatrist, like, I can't do anything. Like, I cannot, it's like I'm floating through life. It's like I lost that 6 months because I was not here. I was on a different friggin' planet, and my body was walking through Earth. I have no idea. I don't really have a lot of memory from it. I just remember that feeling of complete disconnect. It was a complete disconnect. And when I was on Prozac, I actually moved from my condo. I moved in with Reno. And the only big memory I have of that, and this is kind of sad, is my couch. I remember standing outside, and Warren was here. He's my ex, and he was helping move my couch. And they come outside and they're like, "Oh, we're just going to throw it out." And I froze. Like, cold just came over me. And I had a panic attack. And I'm like, "You cannot throw my couch out." One, it was like $3,000. So you know you can't throw my couch out. I'm like, "We'll just put part of it in the basement," but part of it wouldn't fit in the basement. And I'm like, "Can we just figure this out? I'm not throwing my couch out." That is one of the only memories I have of moving in. Was this like trauma response to them telling me they're throwing my couch out. Like, it was so strange. You would think that moving in with your fiance, you would have all of these great memories and happy things and all this other stuff, but that was the only one. The other thing that was happening with the Prozac is I had no appetite. I didn't even want to like have water and stuff. It was just, I was so completely zoned out. I had no sexual desire. I had no desire at all to do anything. Like, I didn't even want to have a chocolate or like eat some food or go for a walk or any, it was like I was just like a zombie. And I get that whole Prozac Nation thing now, like I totally understand. Um it was the weirdest sensation. And like you can't orgasm when you're on this stuff. It's so strange. So I was reporting this to my psychiatrist at the time, and he switched my medication to something else, and I don't remember what it was called. Um and it was the same stuff, but it was less. It was a lot less. So the issues that I had is like I didn't want any medication that I would gain weight. So that was a big thing for me. He didn't really seem to care. But that was a big thing for me. I didn't want medication that I would cause weight gain because I'm already bigger and I've been having issues with my weight my entire life. I also wanted a medication that I would be able to have intimacy because I'm moving in with my fiance. Like, I want to be able to have intimate moments with him. And the new medication didn't happen. It was worse. It was so much worse in that department, but it was less in the other departments. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can just deal with this for a couple of months to kind of get through some counseling. At least like my body and my mind feel attached a bit more. Like, I feel like I'm whole again, but not completely. Like, there's things missing still, but it's not like I'm just zombied out wandering around the planet with my brain kind of above me somewhere following along and watching me have this happen. So I tried this medication, and eh, eh. At that point in time, I got a different psychiatrist because this one and myself, we just agreed we weren't compatible. So my new psychiatrist, it was like an amitriptyline that he had me on. My new psychiatrist prescribed me Cymbalta. Yeah. So everything was going really well, actually, on the Cymbalta, and she was like, that is the big thing. She was like, this is a short-term solution, so we can get you through some counseling and do like, and she's asking me about, the intimacy and eating and am I drinking enough water? Am I getting enough food? Like, how's the Cymbalta going? And it was going pretty good for about 8 months. Everything I was mellowing out, everything was fine. My body and my brain felt like they were one again. Um, it didn't really interfere with the desire thing. It was a little bit harder than it used to be, like, before any of this happened, but it it was there, and I could, and it was nice, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so I can have a relationship with my fiancé again in that aspect." And then I was eating again. I wasn't gaining weight, because there was one of the triptylines that they put me on that I was gaining a lot of weight. And as soon as I went off it, that weight came off, which was kinda nice. Yay. But, like, I was eating again, which was good, and I don't eat a lot to begin with. I've had really big struggles with that my entire life too. So the neurologist was like, "Oh, this has been known to help with migraines." And everyone was like, "Oh, okay, let's up the dose." So we upped the dose in June of this medication. We upped the dose. By the end of June, I could tell something was wrong. And okay, just get used to it, get used to it. So we're into August. Like July, I was getting used to it. We're into August. And all I could feel was rage. Like, just like blind rage. And I was trying so hard to be normal, but I had, like, right at the surface this rage, okay? It was bad. It was bad. And I called the psychiatrist and she's like, "No, we got to get you off of this." And this was in October. So October comes along and I have this rage, and it's the beginning of October, and they're weaning me off of it because you can't just stop taking it because it messes you up bad. The rage was so bad, Reno and I almost split up. I didn't hurt myself, like, I wasn't, but I, like, was punching things, and, like, it was so bad, like, it was just rage, and it just came on so suddenly. So, I come off the Cymbalta, and as the dose is even going down, the rage is going down. It was still there, though. It was still there for about 6 months after I came off the Cymbalta, but it was going down. It was decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. I'm fine now. I don't have this rage. And after that experience, I said flat out to my psychiatrist, I was like, never again. That was the point where I was like, I'm done. I am done. I will do my meditation. I will do my groundings. I will, like, and I mean stick to it. I am not going on medication like this again that alters my frame of mind, alters my thought process. It was scary. It was like I wasn't even me. I'm not an angry, ragey person. I'm really not. I don't know, you guys have been watching the channel long enough, like, you probably noticed I'm not an angry, ragey person. Even the person yesterday at the grocery store who told me to walk faster, fatty, I'm not ragey, I'm just not a ragey person. It was terrifying to be like that, and it took my relationship with Reno, it took a huge toll on that. And we've worked through it and we're better than ever now, but it was bad, and I'm so happy he stuck with me. And it took a toll on the relationship with my mom and my sister and like my friends. Actually, when that happened, I I had something happen. My best friend stopped talking to me for like a year. We're all good now. We like worked everything out, but it was kind of on both of our behalfs why this happened. It wasn't just me or it wasn't just her. And we finally communicated to each other, and I was like, "Look, when this happened, I was coming off of Cymbalta. And so if I was weird, cuz I don't tell a lot of people anything, and that's part of why season 3 of Lost My Ducks is me just like almost verbal diarrheaing like all of this crap, because I cannot keep it in anymore, because it was ruining my life. And I'm like, okay, if I can tell the internet about this, I can tell my close friends and family about it too. And if I can't, they can watch the videos and be like, this is what's going on. Watch this video. So we worked through that. It took a year, but we worked through that. And nowadays, instead of having something like Cymbalta, or I still take Prazosin for nightmares because man, does it help. It really, really helps. Like, it really helps. And I really appreciate that. But instead of the rest of the stuff, I use CBD. Sometimes it has a little bit of THC in there, and it helps like mellow everything out. It doesn't get rid of it. It makes you kind of deal with it. And I'm not talking about a lot of THC. I'm talking about like half a milligram. You know what I mean? It's not a lot, but the CBD, it's like 30 or 25 or whatever it is, but it really takes that edge off of, especially for me, the anxiety. So if it's at a 10, it brings it down to a 7. And I'm like, I can deal with the 7 anxiety, because now that I'm at that 7, I can do my grounding and I can do my mindfulness and I can do that stuff and bring my anxiety back down to like a 3. So that's what I do now. That's how I cope with it. I'm not like on CBD and all this every single day. I just can't be. It's weird. But when I need it, it's there, and I do the little gummies. I do these guys. Major, very good day. Each unit has 20 milligrams of CBD and 0.05 milligrams of THC. So I'll take 2 of these some days just to have that extra little boost. It helps a lot. It really, really does. And I'm glad I found it, because I was sober for a very long time. I will not do the alcohol thing. I'm 7 years sober. But I find the CBD helps a lot. It helps with the anxiety, it helps with feeling down, it helps with the PTSD, actually. It really does, because I still get flashes of that. So there's a lot going on with antidepressants and SSRIs and those types of medications that I think maybe they should study more, especially in women, because they never do, and find out what it does to us, because it's not cool. And I don't ever want to go through that experience again, to the point that I will never take one again. Ever. Never. I am never doing that again. I almost lost everything because of these medications, and I'm not subjecting myself or my loved ones to that ever again. So that's my story. It's like a very condensed version of what happened. If you have any questions or any comments, or are wondering whether you should talk to your doctor about it or not, maybe get a second opinion. Like, get a couple opinions if you're able to, because I find that is way more worth it than, not. Take it from me. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have anything you want to add or talk about or anything like that, leave it down below in the comments and I will get to all my comments. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one.